Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this quick guide on how to use Godcraft Launcher. So for the Windows users, you can download both the jar or the exe. If you double click the exe, it should of course load up like this as long as you have Java installed. If you don't have it installed properly, it may even actually tell you where to install it and help you out with that. You can also launch it from the command prompt. Type in command in your start menu and then type in cd desktop if you've placed it in your desktop or whatever location, and then you can type java-jar space and then the Godcraft launcher. I have a few of them on my desktop. There you go, godcraft_launcher.exe, and this is how to run the jar version if you feel uncomfortable of running the .exe, which is very understandable. Some people are worried about, some of those suspicious plays. Of course, Godcraft's been around for 2 years, and we're not into the, that kind of business of screwing people over. And of course, if you close the command window, it'll close it instantly. So today we're going to run with just the exe, since it's just simple and standard. When you first come in here, if you try to launch or update, actually, you may have this issue. Basically, a backup copy of the Minecraft blah 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 was not found. It sits at 25%. People have had this issue, and then, this is very common. What you need to do, first of all, is just click Options, go to Force Update, and done, and then log in. So I'll type in my user and password, of course, here, and you'll be like, oh, there's Kane's password. Don't worry, I actually change it after these videos. I make them short for the video. I change it after. I'm a bit of a nut when it comes to that. Actually, we don't need full screen. That's just dumb. But anyways, so I'm just going to log in. And what will happen here is it's going to download everything you need. This is a force, run of the jar. And of course, it's going to say 1.25 at the bottom. We hit quit. And then now when you hit update, it'll ask for a backup. I've never used a backup system. It's supposedly pretty good, but I never use it. I just hit no, thank you. And then you'll start actually seeing it going from 25, and then it'll actually start downloading, which is pretty quick right here. So you'll see it hit 100. And so now you know it's going to work. If we hit launch and then go log in, you'll see Forge and all that's installed at the bottom. Awesome. So now what we can do is we can close and we can say, you know what, I want Optifine because my computer lags a bit. Members NEI config. Members NEI config means only for members who've donated $10 or is VIP member. Basically, that shows you some of the special blocks that we allow them to craft that you don't allow the free players. We're not trying to be greedy. We do restrict some of the automation from the free players, and we give them, more priority to the members who support and keep our server going. On the specs texture. Now, I want to show you the specs texture. So if we click everything, and it will stall when it hits specs texture. It doesn't actually stall, it just doesn't tell you the percentage of how fast it's downloading. Instead, it'll just say 39%, which is extremely normal and fine. If you have a slow internet connection, of course, it's going to take a little longer. It is a 30 megabyte texture file. Now you can see it's moving on here. And sometimes you'll have to run an update. It'll sometimes tell you here in the change notes here, but not always. And if you get an error in game saying you need this version, blah, 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 then you grab that version, of course. There we go. So now we can hit Launch Minecraft, and we can log in. Ta-da! And see if I can maximize this without blowing it up. Okay, first of all, you want to maybe do a couple of things. If you want to use the specs texture, which is recommended, all of our users, as far as I know, I shouldn't say all, but probably about 70% of our users actually use this texture pack. Mainly because almost all the mods also have the textures. So you probably want to click Texture Pack and set your texture, and you're all good to go. The next thing you probably want to do is, if you're not a big fan of connected textures, you may want to go to Options, Video Settings, Quality, and go Connected Textures and turn them off. You have a lot of other options here you can play with. For example, if we go to Performance, actually, Animations, and if you like to build near, the bedrock area, you can turn Void Particles off. You got a lot of things here if you want to tweak it up. If we go to Other, actually no, I'm derping up here. Performance must have been in the Quality, or is it Detail? Here you go, you got Detail. You can put grass on fancy, which is all the normal stuff. You can turn off your clouds if you're building up high in the air. Here you go. This is one of the biggest ones people like turning off, depth fog. You've probably noticed in creative mode, if you've ever used it underground, it doesn't show the depth fog. Well, you can turn it off here so you don't see it in game. And that's it. And then you go to multiplayer. Of course, this server list may change here on you. It'll probably say at the very top industrial, or it'll actually say Godcraft Adventures server or Godcraft Adventures, and then that's how you get on. The other servers that are listed on here are for members, unless if you're a member. And that's another way to see if you're a member. If you are a member of one of those servers, you should be able to connect to either one of these. If not, then you know you're not a member. Also, when you're on Godcraft Adventures, if you say hey and your name is in gray, it means you're not a VIP member or a member, and then you can't craft some of those special blocks like I told you. And so you don't confuse yourself, guys. Make sure you don't check members NEI config. Just because I don't want you guys to do that who are free player and say, can't craft this, can't craft that. And some things can't be blocked from crafting, so it may actually fall out of your inventory and you've wasted your time. So just don't click that and you'll know exactly what you can craft within the game in NEI. Also with NEI, when you're in game and you open your inventory, let me actually launch it just to make it a little easier for you guys. So if we go here, I'll just do a single player game here for example. And this is a great opportunity to just play single player and learn things. But if we start here, ta-da! And if you hit E, and then when you're in your inventory, if you hit O, you'll get this nice NEI. And then you can see all the different items here, all the things you can craft, etc. So, for example, this is supposed to be hidden, these ones here. But for example, we didn't click members NEI, I don't believe. So you won't see any pipes. You won't see the tubes here for crafting, because and you won't see the red power filters and stuff, because that's the automation that we're trying to get rid of. But I mean, you can see you have all the access to all the industrial craft stuff, and you got access to everything but basically the tubes and pipe systems. Basically, we're just trying to prevent the automation. Hopefully people don't get too mad. Let's just say all that costs a lot on the server, and it's hard to run a server when everyone has that kind of stuff. So it's one of the reasons why we sort of cap that out. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this movie. I hope this video helped you set up the client, use it. Remember, usually if you run into problems, just launch Minecraft, go to options, and use the force update done and log in, and then close it and then run this. If you still have problems, it could be some read access, you can open your task and right-click Task Manager and try to kill any Java processes. This will run under Java, or you can reset your computer and then try again. If you have any more issues, feel free to use our forums and post in the support section, and we'll see what we can do for you. Hey boys and girls, just one last thing before we end this. There's a new setting here. If you're upgrading from the old server, you're going to have an ugly thing here. What you can do is go in here, and it will say server, I forget what we called it before, let me look here. Server pack. Yeah, that's what it was, it's server pack. And .xml, and you can delete that, and it'll remove the one that was showing up here that was not with the G icon, with the other icon. But I wanted to show you another little feature here. You can go here now, and you can set the maximum memory. So I'm going to set it to 2 gigs. You can usually leave the start one the same, but I'll put it to 2 gigs, and that way I can load more. Don't forget, if you're using 32-bit, it may crash, so put it back to 1 gig if you're crashing on launch. And if that solves it, means you have a 32-bit version of Java installed. Anyways, hopefully that's a good tip for you guys. And again, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.